Mabuhay! Let us all appreciate the beauty and elegance of some tangible and intangible heritage here in the Philippines. The Chocolate Hills is a famous tourist attraction of Bohol. They are featured in the provincial flag and seal to symbolize the abundance of natural attractions in the province. They have been declared the country's third national geological monument and proposed for inclusion in the UNESCO World Heritage List. During the dry season, the grass-covered hills dry up and turn chocolate brown. This transforms the area into seemingly endless rows of Hershey's chocolate kisses. The branded confection is the inspiration behind the name Chocolate Hills. The Chocolate Hills are seen as quarrying assets and source of income for small-scale miners, as well as quarrying materials for the province's construction projects. The challenge is how the national and local officials can harmonize the current needs of small-scale miners, the construction sector, and the tourism sector with the preservation of the Chocolate Hills. Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park encompasses one of the world's most impressive cave systems, featuring spectacular limestone karst landscapes, pristine natural beauty, and intact old-growth forests and distinctive wildlife. It is located in the southwestern part of the Philippines archipelago, on the midwestern coast of Palawan, approximately 76 km northwest of Puerto Princesa. The river's cavern presents remarkable and eye-catching rock formations. However, the biodiversity values of the site are under increasing threat due to the impacts resulting from increasing tourism and visitation. Illegal activities including poaching and logging, land clearing and development, alongside an expanding local population, which is gradually eroding the integrity of the habitats and the biodiversity they support within around the site. The Banawe Rice Terraces are terraces that were carved into the mountains of Banawe, Ifugao, in the Philippines by the ancestors of the indigenous people. The terraces are occasionally called the Eighth Wonder of the World. It is commonly thought that the terraces were built with minimal equipment, largely by hand. The terraces are located approximately 1,500 meters or 4,900 feet above sea level. Threats and concerns identified when the property was put in the list of World Heritage in Danger in 2001. This will ensure completion of the corrective measures that constitute removal of the property from the list of World Heritage in Danger. Programs have been established to ensure landscape restoration and conservation through the documentation and continuous physical rehabilitation of deteriorated areas, including the revival of traditional practices that addresses cultural degeneration. Rizal Monument is a memorial in Rizal Park in Manila, Philippines, built to commemorate the executed Filipino nationalist Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonzo Realonda. The monument consists of a standing bronze sculpture of Rizal with an obelisk set on a stone base within which his remains are interred. The perimeter of the monument is guarded continuously by the Philippine Marine Corps or Marine Security and Escort Group, the changing of the guard having become a daily ritual. About 100 meters or 330 feet northwest of the monument is the exact location where Rizal was executed, marked by life-size dioramas depicting his final moments. The landmark is the most recognizable monument in Luteta. The Rizal Monument serves a meaningful national heritage for Filipinos, commemorating the heroic act of Jose Rizal to his country. The Andres Bonifacio Monument is a memorial monument in Caloocan City, Philippines. It was designed by the national artist Guillermo Tolentino to commemorate Philippine revolutionary Andres Bonifacio, the founder and supremo of the Katipunan. The monument is 13.7 or 45 feet in height with symbolic images and other features known as the Cry of Balintoa. Is acclaimed as one of the best monuments in the world. The monument may soon be just a memory. It apparently lies in the path of the original LRT's planned extension, as well as plans to connect the system to newer metro rail. The Magellan's Cross is a Christian cross planted by Portuguese and Spanish explorers as ordered by Ferdinand Magellan upon arriving in Cebu in the Philippines on April 21, 1521. This cross is housed in the chapel next to the Basilica del Santo Niño on Magallanes Street, just in front of Cebu City Center. A sign below the cross states that the original cross is encased inside the wooden cross made of tindalo wood. This is to protect the original cross from people who chipped away parts of the cross for souvenir purposes in the belief that the cross possesses miraculous powers. Some people, however, believe that the cross has been destroyed or disappeared after Magellan's death, and the cross is a replica that was planted there by the Spaniards after they successfully Christianized the Philippines.
The next is the National Historical Shrine. So the first one is the Dambana ng Kagitingan or the Shrine of Valor. Mount Saman in Bataan was the site where the Philippine and American soldiers took their last stand against the invading Japanese forces in the Battle of Bataan. After a 3-month battle, Bataan fell and surrendered to the Japanese on April 9, 1942. This Japanese victory led the famous Bataan Death March that involved 60,000 to 80,000 Filipino and American prisoners of war. The march resulted to more than 20,000 dead Filipino and American prisoners of war. The Shrine of Valor was built not only to honor the gallantry of the Filipinos who fought in the Battle of Bataan, but to honor all the brave soldiers who fought and died fighting for our freedom during the Japanese invasion. To commemorate and honor the heroism and bravery of the soldiers who fought the Japanese invaders in the Battle of Bataan, the Philippine government declared April 9 as a national holiday. The day is known as Araw ng Kagitingan or Day of Valor. The next one is the Lapu-Lapu Shrine. Lapu-Lapu is considered as the first Filipino hero who successfully defended the Philippines from the Spanish invasion. He is a symbol of courage and success in defeating enemies. In fact, his image is the central figure in the seal of the Philippine National Police and the Bureau of Fire Protection. He is best known as the hero of the Battle of Mactan on April 27, 1521. The Battle of Mactan stopped the invasion of Magellan in Cebu and delayed the Spanish occupation of the islands by over 40 years until the expedition of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi in 1564. The monument of Lapu-Lapu is located in Liberty Shrine or Mactan Shrine, where the historic Battle of Mactan took place at dawn on April 27, 1521. The area is also the place where Magellan Shrine and the marker of the spot the Portuguese conquistador was killed are located. So the last po is the Sandugo or Blood Compact Shrine. The province of Bohol in Visayas is not only home to the magnificent chocolate hills and clear water beaches but also to rich historical sites. One of the most famous landmarks and historical sites in the Philippines is the site of the Blood Compact or Sandugo between Datu Sikatuna and Miguel Lopez de Legazpi in 1565 to ensure the friendly relations between the Spaniards and the Filipinos. Among the monuments in this list, the Blood Compact Shrines commemorates friendships rather than battles or wars. The Blood Compact Monument is one of the work of Napoleon Abueva, a Filipino national artist and also called as the father of modern Philippine sculpture.
Biyag ni Lamang. Biyag ni Lamang is an epic story of the Ilocano people from the Ilocos region of the Philippines. It is notable for being the first Filipino folk epic to be recorded in written form. Noted for being a folk epic from a Christianized lowland people group, with the elements incorporated into the storytelling. The story was handed down orally for generations before it was written down around 1640, assumably by a blind Ilocano bard named Pedro Bucanek. Biyag ni Lamang is also called Life of Lamang in English. It reflects of the values and beliefs of the Ilocano people, including the loyalty, hard work, and importance of the family. Like Captain Marvel, Lamang has fantastical powers. Aside from great strength and skill in battle, Lamang can also call in the wind of the rain to help him defeat his enemies and start those great flames. The theme of the epic revolves around the bravery and courage of the main character portrayed by Lamang, who was gifted with speech as early as his day of birth, who embarked on a series of adventure which culminated in his heroic death, subsequent and resurrection. The moral of the epic is that life is full of trials and problems. One must be strong and must accept this reality. Lamang is a great person because he has a great and supernatural power that he used to help other people around him. He'd do anything just to win the heart of the woman he loves.
The Singkil Dance. Singkil Dance is located at Maranao, Regional del Sur Province in Mindanao, southern Philippines. Coming from the Lake Lanao region, the Singkil is famous dance performed during celebrations and other festive entertainment, which was popularized by the Bayanihan Philippine National Folk Dance Company. According to people from Rumayas Maging, a place considered the seat of Maranao culture, the Singkil was brought to Lanao by Along-Along Marano-Along Dindao Naloan, a man from Cotabato. However, there is no evidence to this claim. Mythologically, Singkil is originated in a story from Darangin, an epic of the Maranao. Traditionally, Singkil was performed by a woman of royal blood, which served as either a conscious or unconscious advertisement to potential suitors for her future marriage. The dance takes its name from the heavy rings worn to the ankle of the Muslim princess. A kulintang and agong ensemble always accompanies the dance. There are 3 versions but all have the same basic steps: the Singkil step, the Sudaratan step, and the pause, all executed with fun movements. Similar dances may be found in the island and mainland Southeast Asia and elsewhere in the Philippines. The Angono Festival. Angono Festival is located at Rizal Province in Luzon, Northern Philippines. The Lakeside Angono municipality of Rizal Province in Luzon is a virtual artist town with sculpture, painters, and musicians in abundance. National artists have been classified as among them. Every year, the Tagalog people hold a twin celebration in November 22nd and 23rd. San Clemente Fluvial Parade. The feast of San Clemente, the patron saint of fishermen, is one of the major festivals celebrated by the people of Angono. He is highly respected by the locals. Majority of them are fishermen who make a living from Laguna Lake. On the feast day of November 23rd, a barge carrying the image of San Clemente leads a long parade of beautifully decorated boats along the lake. The fishermen and their families, dressed in fishermen's attire, carrying occupational gear such as boat, paddles, fish nets, traps, and so on, and accompany the image back to the church. Gigantes Festival, with music and visual arts activities such as art exhibits and concerts. This festival celebrates the town's artistic tradition. The town's artists made giant paper-mache artworks in the late 80s which are symbols of Angono's artistry. The fiesta is highlighted by a Thanksgiving Mass, a fluvial procession on Laguna Lake in honor of San Clemente, and a parade of the parejadoras in which the girls imitate the paddling movement of fishermen to the music of marching bands. Angono is the only town to produce two national artists, Carlos aka Bottom Francisco for painting, and Maestro Lucio San Pedro for music. The town is also home to the petroglyphs. It is situated in a rock formation on the hilltops of Angono, believed to be the oldest form of art estimated to be more than 4,000 years old. UNESCO has named it one of the world's endangered cultural sites.